Okay. So class request the class attendance. You head into the last class. Is everyone in the class?
Yes.
Okay. So okay, head a great week. Today's topic we cover writing installing a computer software. So they will be talking about performing user training. As you all know, the previous class we talked about how to install computer software, and it had a few steps. The steps were like installing the requirement specifications, and we are going to talk about performing user training when you're installing computer software. So the objectives of today's class will be you should be able to define software documentation, classify the okay. At the end of the lesson, you'll be able to define you're also able to define types of documentation. And lastly, you will be able to differentiate between system and user documentation. Differentiate. So, who can tell us what is documentation? If there is someone who knows what is documentation, what is documentation? Okay, software documentation refers to any written material that describes the development functionality of the use of the software. So performing user training involves documentation. Documentation is you either have written or digital materials that describe the functionality of software. So we'll go on and classify types of software documentation. Who among us knows types of documentation? Let me have it from Amy.
Requirement documentation.
Okay, that's good. Anyone else who knows?
Design documentation.
Design documentation, that's good.
Technical Documentation.
Yeah, technical documentation, that's very important. Any other? What's there?
Test documentation.
Okay, test. Test. You have test documentation, you have technical, you have user, many more. So we started defining what requirement documentation is, and this describes just the specific expectations of the software. I hope you have understood that point. The requirements documentation include the functional and non-functional requirements. Have you gotten each to that point? So the next one we're going to talk about design. Design documentation, which outlines the architecture and design principles of the software. This defines how the software was created, the architecture and the principles. Principles are like those syntaxes and rules that you are following. And we are also going to talk about technical documentation, which provides detailed information for developers and IT professionals. These are just for the developers and IT professionals, which includes comments, API, and system configurations. So we're also going to talk about user documentation. This one here. User documentation is simply guides end users on how to operate the software. Guides end users. Those ones that know the way you usually use your phones. Let's say you're using WhatsApp, you're now the end user. So user documentation just describes how you're going to use that software. And also we have test documentation. Test documentation details the testing process and results. So you get when now the developers are creating a software or a program, they'll now have to find who will test first. So now that's where the test documentation is. It's like training a small number of people and seeing how they will react to that software. And lastly, we are going to talk about maintenance, and this provides just information on how to maintain whatever software you have, like upgrading or debugging, something of the sort. So I want you to discuss with the groups of two, with your class members, on the types of documentation that we have just talked about, and remind each other. Okay, I hope that you have discussed and just ask a question. What has your neighbor told you? Hamud, what has your neighbor told you? AB, what has your neighbor told you? Any type of documentation that you have done today?
Technical documentation.
Yeah, and may I have the class attendance register? That's perfect. Okay, thank you. So today's assignment, you just go and read and make notes and write notes. So you just go and read and write notes. I hope you have had a nice session. You will enjoy your evening, and we'll meet in the next class and ensure you've written those notes so that you will proceed to the other class.